And it seems that Jesus is both terribly dangerous and terribly safe. Like terribly dangerous for the proud, the biggest threat that you could imagine. And for the humble, terribly safe, the securest refuge you could find. So we should define pride in all of this here. And for today, let's just define pride as this. Pride is concentrating on ourselves. It's concentrating on ourselves. It's a little bigger than we think in here. C.S. Lewis says this way, like pride is this ruthless, sleepless, unsmiling concentration on the self. Like pride makes you concentrate everything about yourself. You make it about you. You don't get into a relationship or a job or anything else unless it's going to make you feel good about you. Like it's about you, not the thing you're doing. Like pride gets no pleasure out of having something, but only out of having more of it than the next person, right? So you may think that you're proud of being intelligent or successful or wealthy or whatever, like good looking, but you're not. Like because when you're surrounded by other people who have as much or more of that than you don't have pleasure in those things anymore. Pride turns things into a means to an end of getting like respect and getting approval. Like we get a value from it. And this is why C.S. Lewis says pride is sleepless. Like it's an endless ego calculation. The math, the calculations are always going. They're always adding things up. Am I getting the thanks that I deserve? Am I getting appreciated here? How am I being regarded? How am I looking? How does this make me look? What do people think of me with this? Like everything's about that. Like you're always saying, what about me? What about me? What about me? Me. Like, and again, we're too smart to usually verbalize that out loud, but if we're honest, this is often what's in our heart. So therefore, since pride is this concentration on the self, we need to know that pride can come in another form. There's a sneakier form. Right? Like we think of pride as just those braggy kind of I'm superior, better than everyone else kind of thing. But there's this inferiority form of pride. Like this is where you're down on yourself. You don't like yourself. You don't like how you look. You don't like how you're doing. You're very self-conscious. And you're just as self-absorbed. Like, don't you see, like, you're doing all the comparisons too. You're just not making out as well. And we don't tend to think of inferiority people as proud, but you absolutely are. Like, we are when we do it. Like, ultimately, pride is self-absorption. And both of those kinds of people, the one who feels superior, the one who feels inferior, both of them are prideful, and they have more in common with each other than a humble kind of person. So like if you understand it that way, that pride is self-absorption, you can realize what humility really is. Like humility is not thinking less of yourself. Humility is thinking of yourself less. It's not being needy for approval and respect. Like you say hello or hang out with someone or give of yourself, you go into a certain job or you do a certain thing or you volunteer for this, not because it makes you feel good about yourself or gets respect and approval from others. You do it for the things themselves because they matter and God matters. It's not about you. And that means you're unneedy. Like a humble person, if you actually ever met a really humble person, you wouldn't come away thinking, oh, they're a really humble person. You'd come away saying like, man, that person was happy. And they seem to be really incredibly interested in me because they're not thinking about themselves and how you're treating them and how you're looking at them and all that calculation, that evil calculation is gone and you can just relax. Like pride is ruthless, it's sleepless, it's unsmiling concentration on yourself and we're steeped in it. Like it's a sickness for us.